Hello and good evening. I have to think then what time it was. This is a inky pack thing for a Pi Pico. Well, I'm talking rubbish. A Raspberry Pi Pico inky pack from Pimeroni. And I got this little while ago and thinking, what can I do with it? So I've got a Raspberry Pi Pico W, and it's W because it's got the Wi-Fi Bluetoothy module on it. And of course, this is the Pico with the RP2040. And this one actually hasn't exploded, so I haven't had to do my mod on the DC-DC converter, but that's a separate issue. But yeah, so you've got this inky pack, and you're like, well, what can I do with it? Because there's no power on this, and the screen is always off, and it's all low energy and stuff. I think it'd be quite cool to do like a internet-related thing, you know, where you can get data from it and pull stuff up. So I was like, well, what can I do? Well, fortunately, at my house, I've got batteries and solar panels, and I've got off-grid connections and whatever. I thought it would be cool to get all that data displayed on this. So this is what I've done. Powering it up now, and you see it's waiting for connection. So it's connected to Wi-Fi. It's connected. There's your IP address of my network, so you can't do anything with that. And it's going to ping the batteries, and it's going to pull some data. Hopefully, if this all works, he says waiting in anticipation. Any second now. Naturally, of course, it doesn't work. Oh, I know what it's done. So, yeah, I've just recently modified this. So I've got the buttons here for the different options. So I've got option A, B, and C. So option A will be my battery in the loft. So click on that. Here we go. And it's pulled up the data from the battery in the loft. So we've got the time and date of the data that it was pulled. Current charge in the battery is 81%. I'm exporting 25 watts into the grid. The battery is 89%. 89 watts is coming out of the battery. 80 watts of solar. Yes, it's a crap day. It's cloudy. It's raining. How hot the battery is 18 Celsius. And then the total of the house. So the house is currently using 127 watts. We've imported 8.1 kilowatts so far. We've produced 0.2 watts of solar. And the inverter temperature is 28 degrees. Simple. Now I've also got other menus on here, so this is for future expansion. If I do that, it's meant to. Do I have to? I have to go back there, don't I? Back there. It's because I've got it plugged in the computer, so I'm just making up the connections. So if I click on this one, we'll take a connection here, click on that. Victron mode. So there's the Victron inverters inside the shed. Eventually I'm going to be calling the API there and get the shed data on here as well. And I've got this mode, other mode, which I'm going to have, I don't know, I could have weather data on here or something else. I haven't decided yet. So I've got 3 different modes I can have. So the only one that is currently working is the Givenergy mode, which is the Givenergy battery in the loft. So I click on that and it pulls the data up from the house. So that's what I've done with this display, and I think it's rather cool. And it's a nice e-ink display, so even with the glare, you can actually still read it, even with the glare and stuff, because e-ink's just nice. So that's that, and equally, if I unplug it, excuse the picture off the table, unplug it, there's no power to this now, and the data's still there. How cool is that? So yeah, so I'll show you the code, what that's doing, and yeah, go from there. Right, so if this is all working, you should be able to see what I can see. So this is the code that I've got running on that e-ink display. Well, that's not the exact code. I've deleted some important information, which you'll understand soon. So I've got these libraries I'm importing. Actually, no, it's all them libraries I'm importing. So I've got Pico graphics from Pimeroni. These are Pimeroni ones for the e-ink display. Machine is machine, you know, for the pins. And then we've got, that's for joining the network. And them are for the API, and then we've got a time command. So they're all fairly simple stuff. We then set up 3 variables called mode. This is just for each button press. So this software knows what button is pushed. So we've got these different mode buttons. This sets up the e-ink display. Then we've got some interrupt flags that we've set. So we've set an interrupt flag, and we've also got setting the pins to be what pins they are. These are the four buttons on the display itself. And then we just define some little subroutines here. So we've got this one so we've got 3 of these, which are our interrupts for each button. So this is button A, And all we're doing here is when we get an interrupt, we go straight to this. So we jump out of the routine into this, and we set these flags, which are set here, up here, set them to be in that mode. So for instance, button A, we set the mode A flag, and the other two flags are not set. I'm not big at coding, so there you probably say you've done this silly, there's an easy way of doing it, but you know, leave your comments down below if you can think of a better way of doing this. There probably is. And again, same for button B, we set all the flags to 0 except for button B, so button B is set, and the same with C as well. So that's how we know which button is pushed on an interrupt. And we've got another definition here of a clear command to clear the display. Another one for Victron mode. Again, there's nothing in here because I haven't got the API working yet, so this is just sitting there blank, so showing Victron mode. Another one for other mode, again, doesn't do anything, just shows other mode. And this is the Givenergy subroutine, which we'll get back to because there's quite a lot here. And then we've got our normal connect to a pass, connect to your network, connect to your network. So it's connecting to your network and testing for connection, and you run a connection failed, connection passed thing, and this is where you get the IP address shown on the display. And so that is just, all this is just connected to the Wi-Fi. And then while true, so this is what our main code is doing. And all we're doing here, we're printing this, is just for debugging purposes. So our code is really here. All we're doing here is every half a second, we check which mode we're in, A, B, or C, and we either go to give, Victron, or other, give, Victron, or other, and that's all we do. It does leave us a problem if we want to get out of this after we've gone into a subroutine. We either have to wait till we hit the button bang on that point, or we do the reset and do it. So that's why we have to do a reset to get it back to this mode, but that ain't a problem. Again, I can clean this code up. I'm sure if you leave a comment, you can tell me how to help while I'm being silly. But at the moment, the only one that actually does anything interesting is this Givenergy command. So go back up here to Givenergy. Where is it gone? There it is. There you go, Givenergy. Right, what we're doing here, we have our handler of URLs. So our URL is this is where our API lives, and our battery serial number. So equally, we take out the speech quotes, so I have to put the speech quotes in. That is the serial number of your battery, which you can find in the app. Bang that in there, and then this is our header, and you need the API key, and that goes in there. Again, oh, I've missed a speech mark. Oh no, we don't want that. We want the bearer. It's really that bit there. That bit there is your API key. So you have to go onto the Givenergy website, make an API, copy the key, paste it in there, and it will work. And then this is the code that we need to get our data. So we get the data and we put it into a JSON file. We then print the JSON file, again, debugging. Right, and then we need to give these all values. So we have a percent, which is a variable called percent, which is just battery percentage. And that's the data, and this is where you can find it's in data, battery percent. Typical JSON file where you have like text, you know, down a grid, so data, battery percent. So you've got to find the bit that you want, and you know how JSON files work, hopefully. This is time. I haven't managed to call it time because the time already exists up, you know, in a variable, so I had to call it Tim. And again, grid outputs. These are all the variables I'm pulling from that JSON file. And then I print them. So I'm changing them here from a value to a string. So I'm going to give a variable percent string, string. So I'm making it into a string instead of a float. For some reason, I'd read it again. I can't remember why I read it again, but I do. Oh yeah, that's because I'm getting the inverter data. That's right. Yeah, these are different metadata. That's it. This is system data. This is metadata. So I'm putting two different sets of information from Givenergy. But again, same thing. Serial number, API key is exactly the same. You just put it from a different source. And here I'm just getting totals, total solar. That's where I'm getting my import data from. And then again, I'm turning that into a string. And then this is where I actually set the display. This is where I start writing stuff in the display. So clear the display, set it to 0, and then print percentage at that location, print type. So these are all the stuff that doesn't change. And Yes, it does. Yeah, percent, and then here I'm percent string. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So that's update. Then you basically update the display, and then I repeat this every 300 seconds, which is 5 minutes. Is that 5 minutes? 300 seconds? I think so. So I'm polling every 5 minutes. And that's it, really. That is all there is to it. There's nothing special, nothing amazing, but it did take a little while to get all this correct and right, and it works, which I'm quite happy. And I'm going to add in a Victron mode and something else mode, which is for future me to decide. But if that helps give you some idea of how to pull an API from Givenergy, hopefully that helps. I'll copy and paste this code and stick it in the bottom of the comments. Not comments. What's that thing at the bottom of the box of a video? Oh, you know what I mean. Description. I'll stick this code in there. But you can play with it. Right. That's it for now. Thank you for watching and see you later. Bye for now.